fuck, ain't it?
Yeah, but hurry up and put it in because we only got 15 minutes left on our break. Hello? Yeah, babe. I'm sorry. I didn't even get to go on my break yet. I was supposed to go on my break, but this girl went before me. Alright. Okay. Alright. Love you too. Bye.
Shit long as fuck, ain't it?
Yeah, but hurry up and put it in because we only got 15 minutes left on our break. Hello? Yeah, babe. I'm sorry. I didn't even get to go on my break yet. I was supposed to go on my break, but this girl went before me. Alright. Okay. Alright. Love you too. Bye.
Shit long as fuck, ain't it?
Shalom. I want to give all honors and glories and praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Wakakodash, Yahweh, which is the one true name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, but his one true name is Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, meaning coming in the name, Ba means coming in, Ha means the, Shah means name, Rakah meaning spirit, Kodash meaning holy. Double honors to the elders and the apostles and bishops of Great Millstone, who will well and teach well, because those are the men who have learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Hashai. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom to you, sincere brothers that are scattered abroad, pushing forth this word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to you, sincere sisters that are listening in silence, as the scriptures command you to do so. I am the brother Mashiach Razakah, and pretty much in this lesson, it's going to be titled as all wickedness is but little to the wickedness. All right. And I would say the rest of it, but I don't want to get a strike. But I might change it. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness. Okay. And notice in the video, this woman is supposed to be, it doesn't say like where she worked at, but she was on her break. And while she was on her break, she was, having intimacy with another man while her husband or, boyfriend or husband, whatever husband called, to see if she was on her break. And she literally lied and said that she didn't get her break yet. And she was damn near committing adultery, right? Sleeping with another man. And this is why, again, the elders and the apostles and bishops of Great Millstone, brothers and sincerely, this is why we're not dealing with the black women. Okay, these women in society today, they have no remorse. They have no morals. They have no standards. Okay, they really are comfortable in committing, sin, committing adultery. They're not ashamed of that, knowing that this is against our heritage. Okay, we can't be committing adultery, sleeping with another. And even that Jake man, all right, he knew that woman had another man and he didn't care. You got Jake being wicked, man, sleeping with another man's woman, which according to our heritage in the ancient world, if you was caught doing that, or 2 to 3 witnesses caught you doing that, you would be executed and put to death for that. And we're going to get some scriptures in this. So Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. If you are Jake out there, you want to be aware of committing adultery, because you can be destroyed for that. Okay, yeah, you can still be destroyed for that. This is why we say the laws are not done away with, while other, you wacky-tacky Christians are saying the Mosaic law is completely done away with. What about adultery? That's in the Old and in the New Testament. If you're caught committing adultery, committing adultery in the ancient world, if you was caught committing adultery, you was put to death for that. You see, now we have grace, but you can still be destroyed for that though, committing adultery. Let's get it. This is Leviticus 20:10. It says, "And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife," right? If a man committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer, right, and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. You will be put to death for that. Okay, adultery is wickedness, high wickedness, man. Okay. You could be destroyed for committing adultery, man. Okay, adultery is something you don't even want to think about even doing, man. Verse 11, it says, and the man that lieth with his father's wife, right, uncovered his father's nakedness, both of them shall surely be put to death, and their blood shall be upon them. And you see, the scriptures totally gives us instructions and standards what to be doing and what not to be doing. It tells you what not to be, who not to be sleeping with, and who to be sleeping with. What iniquities you're not supposed to be doing, right? And what the things you should be doing in righteousness. The scriptures totally gives us guidance and instructions on how we are to dwell on the earth. All right. And committing adultery is a very dangerous thing, and you can be destroyed for that. You could be destroyed for committing adultery. You could be destroyed for that. It says, and the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and adulteress shall surely be put to death. You could be destroyed for committing adultery. All right. In the ancient world, you would be automatically put to death for that. Got another precept, Deuteronomy 22:22. If a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband, then they both of them shall die, right? Both the man that lie with the woman and the woman. So shall thou put away evil from Israel. See, that's an iniquity. So if you got caught committing adultery or caught committing adultery and 2 to 3 witnesses caught you doing that, you would be put to death for that. Right? And the reason why the woman will be put to death is because she didn't cry out, right? She just committed adultery. She had a husband and she committed adultery. Deuteronomy 22:23. Now it's going to give you a whole breakdown on adultery here. What would be the end result of it? Deuteronomy 22:23. It says, if a damsel is a young woman. That's what a damsel is. If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed, which means to be engaged, right, onto an husband, right? She has a husband, she has a man, right? And a man find her in the city and lie with her, right? Which is committing adultery. Verse 24, it says, then ye shall bring them both unto the gate of the city, of that city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die. The damsel, because she cried not, being in the city. Right, she didn't cry out or any of that. She just had pleasure in committing that iniquity. So her and that man would be put to death. They'd be put to death for that. It says the damsel, because she cried not, being in the city, and the man, because he hath humbled his neighbor's wife. You committed adultery, which is breaking the Mosaic law. That's a sin. For sin is the transgression of the law, right? Which goes to what I think it's 1 John 3. There's a 1 John 3 and 4. Right? I think it's 1 John 3 and 4. Right? 3 and 4. Right? I think it is 1 John 3 and 4. For whosoever transgress, right, who transgress the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. Right? Let me get that. All right? Because I want to make sure I'm not going off. I think it's 1 John, and then we go back to that. 3 and 4. Because I don't want to butcher the scripture. Yeah, here it is. 1 John 3 and 4. It says, whosoever committed sin transgress also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. See, sin is the transgression of the law. So when we go to Deuteronomy 22 and 24, it says, then ye shall bring them both unto the gate of the city, and ye shall stone them with stones, that they die. The damsel, because she cried not, being in the city, and the man, because he humbled his neighbor's wife. It says, so thou shalt put away evil from among you. You see that? And committing adultery is an iniquity. That's wickedness. You sleeping with another man's woman. Okay? That's wickedness. You sleeping with another man's woman. See? And it says, this is going into the raping, but we're going to stop right here though. It says, I'll read again. Deuteronomy 22:24. It says, then ye shall bring them both unto the gate of the city, and ye shall stone them with stones, that they die. The damsel, because she cried not, being in the city, and the man, because he humbled his neighbor's wife. So thou shalt put away evil from among you. You see that? That's why when you commit adultery, that's a high transgression. You could be, in the ancient world, they were stoned for that. Okay, they were put to death for that. This is Sirach 25:13, and it says, give me any plague, right? Give me any plague, right? But the plague of the mind. And that's the one thing you don't want to have, is a plague mind. I wouldn't wish that on any brother in this truth, to have a plague mind. right? And it says, in any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. You see that? The wickedness of a woman. Verse 14, and any affliction but the affliction from them that hate me, right? And any revenge but the revenge of enemies. Verse 15, it says, there is no head above the head of a serpent, and there is no wrath above the wrath of an enemy. Verse 16, I rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman, right? Because with a wicked woman is you got issues, you got problems, right? You have problems all day with a wicked woman, right? You got problems with a wicked woman. You got women, lying and telling the police that you hit them and you never hit them. I have a brother, an older brother, and he didn't do nothing. He got into an argument with his woman and walked away, and she got mad because he walked away, and she called the cops and said that he hit her, and he got locked up for it, and he didn't hit her or anything. She ain't got no bruises, no nothing. So you got wicked women doing that, calling the police and lying, saying, oh, he hit me, he did this, he choked me, he did this, and he didn't do anything, and he got arrested for it. These women are a problem, and that's why it's best to be single if you are single. If the Lord send a woman your way, hey, you got a woman, cherish that woman, but just know it's going to come with pros and cons. All right, because we're under the curses. Sirach 25:17, it says, the wickedness of a woman changeth her face, and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth. Verse 18, it says, her husband shall sit among his neighbors. And this is for an example. Let's say Jake is at a bar, he's chilling with his buddies, laughing and all of that. And then his friends know that they saw his woman last night, and she was, getting a train ran on her, for an example, by like 7 guys. And it's all on World Star and all of that, And the guy, that's his woman. He sees her on World Star. He's just like, fuck, man, it's a woman I'm dealing with. You got shit like this happening. Excuse my French. You got stuff like this that's happening, man, that men go through, right? And it says, and when he heareth it, shall sigh bitterly, right? Because he hear what's going on, man. This is the society that we live in, and this is the type of vibration that Esau pushes, and he pushes it through these Medea movies and all these other relationship movies, Obsession, all these other movies. If you look at these black movies, every black movie has sex, adultery, right? Sodomite stuff going on in it, and that's a vibration that Esau pushes. He pushes it through his social media, he pushes it through his movies, and he pushes it through his rapping, through rap. These Sexy Reds and Cardi B's and all these people, right? And that's the vibration that they bring out. So that's why so many of these women is cheating, and they think that it's great to do that. And when we say this here, we get these comments from these women like, what about men? Men do this, men do that, men do this. Okay, but you choose to be with those type of men. You can have a man that's a good, hard-working man, but he's boring to you. You want a man that's a thug, that's in the streets. If that's what you chase, and that's what you're going to get. But you can't say, oh, men cheat, they do this, do that, because you get with the thugs. You don't be with the men that work 9 to 5. Remember, he's boring. But that boring man won't cheat, he won't do anything. He's about business. So, you choose the thug, that's what you get. Sirach 26:23. It says, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man. You see that? A wicked woman is given to a wicked man, right? But a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Most High. So a godly woman is going to be given to a man that fear the Lord. Lord's going to send you a woman that's going to be a woman for you, right? But you got to continually put the Lord first. Because if you get caught up in that woman and you get to putting that woman first, the Lord is a jealous power. He'll take that woman from you. He'll have Satan hop on her and she'll wind up leaving you. The Lord will separate that woman from you. You got to always keep him first. Isaiah 5:20. It says, woe unto them that call good evil, right? That call evil good. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. That put darkness for light and light for darkness. That put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. And that's the type of society that we live in. All right? That's why they push adultery so heavy in these movies. That's why they put sodomite stuff so heavy in the movies. right? Why you think they push it so hard in these women that are so-called rappers, right? The entertainment industry, the music industry, right? They push this negative vibration out super heavy, right? And these are the type of agendas that they push out. They call good evil, right? So hey man, adultery is against the scriptures, man. Adultery is against the scriptures. But Salakia, adultery is against the scriptures, man. And I saw this on Facebook.
Yeah, but
It's against the scriptures, man. And if you are a dude, that's Jake that's out there doing this, man, this is a very dangerous game. The scriptures even talk about the rages of a jealous man. The Lord can judge you off of that. You could get judged by the Lord for that. So, hey, man, I had to do a lesson on this because this is wicked. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honors and glories and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Wakakodash. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Till the next time, I say shalom.